Some things this spring didn't go quite as planned. Well, we got one field left to roll. There's no way we couldn't. There's no way we had to find something for this to do. So I have unhooked the two-wheel 4850 out of the roller. We're gonna hook this into it. We finally did it. We got our bus motored, repowered 5020 hooked into the roller, got in the field for our last field of the year. But man, did she sound great?
It sounded awesome.
Totally worth it, huh?
It's awesome.
Any letdowns?
Oh, I don't think so. It wouldn't do it in road gear, but
What are you in?
7th was there.
That was 7?
Yeah, I started at 6.
Really? I thought 4th or 5th. Okay.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Do you go when you're rolling? Adam was cruising.
Yeah, there's actually no speed limit. It's how well you can keep your butt in the seat. The roller actually is the one thing that guys will wear their seatbelts on because you get bouncing. It's the one time that you're going to want a seatbelt most of the time just to keep you more planted.
So what did Adam think though? Was he having a blast?
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna roll this field twice, maybe.
He actually got his dad out to come and take a look at it. His dad's into old collector tractors.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me last night when he got back in the yard, yeah, sorry it took me so long. My dad came out to the field. I hope you don't mind. I'm like, dude, have fun. Yeah, right? Yeah. For those of you that don't know, if you haven't been following this project along, you just found this video. We bought this 5020 last summer. It was on an estate sale. We bought it with the intention knowing it needed a lot of work. We didn't quite realize it was gonna need that much work. Well, back at the end of November, we pushed it in. It was actually the way I celebrated my 40th birthday, hanging out in the shop with the guys, tearing down an old collector tractor. Yep. So we found out the motor was junk. We ended up putting a new motor in it. We actually, I think it was February 7th. I think it was February 7th. We actually got it all together, put it on the dyno, found out that the PTO, there's more engine than there is PTO. And then early April, we actually took it to the tractor parade. Which was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Then, as we got into spring, we were trying to figure out what do we do with it. sometimes when you take these projects and you try to take them, like, it's one thing to make them look good on camera, but when you try to take them in the real world setting, muscle cars are the same way, collector vehicles are the same way, you'd be surprised how many little bugs you're still working out. Spring was going so good that I was a little hesitant putting it in anything because I didn't want to spend a day or two working all the bugs out to see, you know, because there were still things we didn't know. We didn't know if the hydraulic system was going to work. Give me like a little bit of throttle. Yeah, give me like 1,200, 1,500 RPM. Okay, now go. We're a little high, but that's good enough for today. Okay. We didn't know, you know, how good everything was, and it would suck to throw it in like the first field and then have all these problems. To like the halfway through spring, we were like, okay, we got to do this, or we got to find something for it to do. We talked about hooking into a spreader. We were kind of running out of some time, so finally, earlier this week, we just hooked it into the roller and said, let's go. It was just awesome hearing it. We have so much time in that. All right, so a couple things real quick. For what the roller does, the reason we run the roller across the field, the roller just, if you see those big drums, all it does is push the rocks back down the ground, so it makes harvesting the crops drastically easier. And then we do our own fields, we do some of our neighbors' fields, so we got a busy roller schedule. And
you just do it on the bean fields.
Yep, we just do it on the bean fields.
A rock up into the bean head of the combine.
Yep.
I mean, you can do massive
It can
damage.
do a lot of dollar amounts of damage. And there's a lot of other things with it. It kind of, what we noticed too is it speeds you up when you're going across the field because you're not looking for every little rock.
Sure.
You can go faster, allows you to focus on the machine more than just what's in front of you. So there's a few perks, but that's why we've talked, it's come up in a couple of our videos about the roller. Yep, so that's what we use the roller for. Some of this footage is about a week old. Last weekend, we were actually planting our last field, which kind of led into our last headaches. 2 videos ago, we did a top 10 list of our non-infamous repairs, and one of them that was on it was the digger. Okay, so we broke the hub on the digger. We had a new one show up. We ordered a new one, and the only thing, and this is probably my fault, I told the parts guy, go ahead, order the hub. A lot of times you'll get the wheels, the hub will show up with the bearings and all of that.
Like the full assembly.
Full assembly.
Yeah, okay.
This one didn't.
Oh, no.
So here we are sitting there on a Saturday night. What do? You know how guys are never supposed to be wrong? Like ever. You're supposed to be like, just always right. All right, I might have been wrong about this hub. This hub here is actually off of the digger. Now, originally when I went and looked at it, this was still attached to the wheel and was off like this. And I thought this assembly right here actually had the bearings in it. Adam took it apart, and then actually we realized that the bearings are actually in the shaft right here. And it looks like maybe possibly just the welds broke. So I'm gonna try and weld this up. I just got done cleaning it, grinding it, kind of getting it to fit real nice. So I'm gonna try and weld that, see if we can't make it work so we can use the digger again. So I grabbed the parts of the old one and I'm like, hey, let's just see if we can't weld this up. Back right out of high school, I worked for a weld drilling company, and they would always talk. So I grew up welding in hog barns, and that's where I kind of
fixing gates.
Yep. Oh,
things.
absolutely.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then I went to the weld drilling company, and they taught me how to weld a little different. On the weld drilling side, they always talked about their 3 rings or 3-pass circles, because you're always welding pipe.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this hub, and I'm like, all right. Flashback to 20. Here we go. 3-ring circle. Here we go. Okay, so I don't really know how to weld, what do we want to call it? A wheel bolt flange back onto a hub. But what I do know is you don't want to do it in one continuous speed, because what's going to happen is it's going to warp it. So in this case, I'm just kind of doing like a stitch weld all the way around. And the theory is you kind of tack it in multiple spots, but that way you only do a couple inches, and then you go to the other side and do the other couple inches. You go to the other side, you do a couple more inches on like 180 degrees from it, and that keeps everything as even as you can. So whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, but this is what we're gonna do. And so far, I think it's pretty good. I think I got a pretty good beat in it, but we'll see how it holds up. Adam's over here. You're still questioning if it's going to work or not. Like I said, either way, if I'm wrong, I'll be happy if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong because it works and we get the field worked, great. Then I'm happy I'm wrong. If it doesn't hold, hey, what are we all for trying? Definitely warm. And that's how the sink starts to look like that. Hopefully the tire fits on it.
Yeah.
Here we are, welding it all together. We get it actually, it worked out good. We got the hub on the digger. We actually put it on the digger. We put it on one of the wing wheels so it wasn't used as often.
Okay.
And I told Adam, I'm like, hey, why don't you go try work in the field? Once you know what, I have a gift card to Starbucks. What do you want from Starbucks? And he made the mistake of me. He made the mistake of telling me, just, something fruity, because I like dark coffee. Like, our whole family's kind of coffeeaholic.
I would not peg Adam as a
I
fruity
think
drink guy.
what he meant is more juice, not coffee.
That's interesting.
It actually looks kind of good. It's supposed to be some like fancy lemonade, and you get the biggest straw I've ever seen.
Cool.
Yeah, nothing says farmers like fruity drinks. Thanks, Starbucks. I'm just old-fashioned. I went with the old standardized Trente iced coffee.
Thanks.
Yeah. How awesome is that?
I'm still getting over the fact, well, it's a little bit of a girly drink there, Adam, but also bringing Starbucks to the field. Like, what world is this we live in now?
I know, 2025 is awesome, right? Like, whatever it took to get us here,
Yep.
we're here now.
Here's your $7 drink, Adam. But that's awesome.
Oh.
You gotta take care of those who take care of you. Right?
Yeah, well,
So.
it's kind of one of our things. Like, it was just me and him here to that night, and I was like, "Hey, what do you want? You want food?" And he said no. He's like, his mom had dinner later that night.
Yeah.
Adam had a family obligation that night, so I
Okay.
knew we had to come get him like 5:30. I'm like, "Why don't you go out to the field, try it? I'll roll to Starbucks. We'll get something." Adam says, "Hey, can I get something fruity?" Which I think he meant more like juice, not black coffee that's just ice, which is my
he
style.
sees what you drink. He's like, whatever that is, not that.
Well, the only thing that was really fun, and this is where we always, so when you work a lot of hours in life and life can get stressful, you got to find your ways of offsetting that. And one of the ways has always just been like old vehicles. Well, my uncle David he's always wanted an old classic Bronco. I actually rolled out to the field in my old classic Bronco, and then David rolled up on his four-wheeler, but I had to get Adam. I was like, "Hey, Dave, you do anything?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Climb in." And I'm like, "Adam, jump in the passenger seat." And I start climbing to the back seat. I'm like, "Yeah, Dave, your spot's in the driver's seat. Let's go." Okay, step the clutch in and just turn the key on. You're gonna hear the fuel pump kick on. And then as soon as you hear it kick off, you just turn the key to start it. Okay, now it's just a 4-speed. The throttle's super, the throttle pedal is super sensitive, but don't worry, you're gonna like over rev it. Well, you're gonna rev it up higher than you thought, and we're gonna laugh because we do it all the time. Yep, just like that. It's sensitive, but it's a lot of fun. I told him, like, hey, we got to get Adam back to the shop because he's got family obligations tonight. Because I try to always be, for all the guys that work here, I always try to be very respectful of their schedule. So if they say they got to get out of here by 3, trust me,
happy.
I want them driving out the driveway at 3 because I know what it's like to have all of your social plans wrecked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here's me and Dave just cruising along in the Bronco, and it's just so much fun.
That's
and
awesome.
the neat thing is, hey, the tires stayed on the wheel, so our 3-pass, it worked just fine. And so then that led into, we kind of were saving this field. We had one facility that we wanted to do a little more spreading. So the following day we did some trucking, we hauled out some biosolids, we did some spreading. And then the next day we worked it. Planted it. No matter how many rocks you pick, you always miss one.
Problem solved, huh?
And the next day we worked it, planted it, and then yeah, rolled it.
Yeah.
So that was the end of our 2025 spring run.
Man, do you feel so good about this spring?
Oh yeah,
like almost
absolutely.
Like you don't want to jinx it, but like wow, like what a great spring.
I think a lot of it is, you know, just like we've talked, like a lot of years of just every year you're trying to look at the puzzle and like, hey, how we put this together better next year. And I think this year was just a lot of those years coming together. But yeah, the weather was fantastic. We didn't have a lot of rain days. When we did get rain days, they were short-lived. It was only like a 1 day we were out of the field, maybe day and a half. It wasn't like the 3 to 8 days, 3 to 10 days, because we've had that.
Yeah.
Is that a cat running?
I know. Is it a white one? I don't. Interesting.
We had these Siamese cats. So we always have a herd of cats that just kind of show up, they multiply, they go away. Typical farm. We like the cats because they take care of so many rodents, specifically mice.
Yep.
Yes. You know how we can't have a week without something breaking?
Yeah.
The funniest thing. Yeah, right. The funniest thing in the world. So as we get done with spring, we're transitioning to side dressing, which side dressing means we're going to go down and put fertilizer down in between the corn rows as it's coming up. And now the trick is you don't want the corn too high, but you also don't want too short. So you're trying to find that happy medium. Well,
because do you end up driving over the corn as you do it?
You drive through the rows, but yes, there's
Okay.
going to be corn you knock down.
Yeah.
But we've seen it so many times where it's way more beneficial.
Yeah.
So the last decade, one of the things that's changed a bunch of time is what they call their variable rate or multi-rate nitrogen programs. So either a split rate of what they call kind of like a split rate of nitrogen. So you're putting less down in the spring, but then the trouble is you have to have your timing right in June to come back in early July. For us, the way we do it, you can't have the corn too high.
Okay.
And so, all right, knowing that,
timing game,
yeah,
right?
oh, absolutely, right.
Yeah.
That's why I look at the weather every day.
Yeah.
All right, so the funny thing is, Dad and Adam started working on the side dresser, getting the tanks on it, getting it hooked up, and then I get this crazy picture. I was on a parts run down to Iowa, which is hilarious, because then my dad sends me some text messages about, hey, like some pictures of something green broke and a yellow rim attached, and I'm like, oh no, what's that on? Here was a spindle for the 4320 broke.
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, just luckily we were just in the yard and not like going down the road. But so, okay, yep, I pull off. The iPad set up there, right there. I am ordering parts, and the funniest thing is the guy mowing the lawn. I know he's doing his job, but you'd think he'd go to the farther area away. He's been circling me here for the last 5 minutes. Oh, I'm done, and we got our parts ordered, and now he's going to the far end of the park to mow. Stuff you can't make up, but the greater good. I got my parts ordered. I'm on the east side of Iowa picking up parts, and the parts we needed were right off 35, so we had a guy run down, pick up some spindles down in Lake Mills, Iowa for her mall
so you didn't have to weld it?
No, it was kind of beyond that point.
Beyond
It like
yeah.
broke clean off, and so we're sitting there like, how did that happen? But luckily we were able to get one. We got one in the shop. Later today, that's gonna be the project, getting that put back together. And so it's kind of one of those things like, you never know what to expect, right? Like when you get done with spring, you have that lie in your head like, oh, we're done. I'm gonna get some time to relax.
Yeah.
That never really happens.
No.
You kind of had a little bit of a rough week. You were kind of the global world traveler there for a little bit.
Yeah. It was crazy. My really good friend's son passed away really unexpectedly, and so they live down in Georgia, and we've met up camping before, and we've gotten to know their family well, and so tragic. I mean, we've talked a lot this week about putting things in perspective, like what actually matters, right? But I wanted to go down to Georgia for the funeral. Okay, here's the thing though, I have to tell you this. I'm driving to the airport in my car, and the low tire pressure sensor comes on, right?
Which are handy to have, right?
I'm so grateful for it. Often when they've come on before, I don't know what my wheel pressure is supposed to be, like 35 or whatever, and you'll see it, maybe it's down to like 27 or something, and I'm like, oh, I should maybe get some air or something. It comes on and it's at like 12, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. Like, that's actually pretty low. And then I'm like, I'm not feeling anything. I'm like, is the sensor faulty? And on my dash, so it showed one of the upper tires that was the bad one, right? So to me, it looked like this one. And so I'm like, front driver, like top left, front driver, right? So I pull off on the next exit. There's like a parking right there. I get out, I look at the tire. I'm like, that tire is totally fine. I look at the back tire, also fine. We'll see my error in a second here. I get back on the freeway, start shaking a little bit, but hey, we live on gravel. There's often mud in the tires.
We're kind of used to tires never being awesomely balanced.
I don't think that's anything. And then I'm just past the next exit where I could have got off, and then it's like shaking, and I'm like, oh no, my back passenger tire is shot. Like, there's something wrong, and I don't even think I can make it to the next exit. So I pull over on the side of the freeway.
Luckily, it was a big shoulder.
Yes,
it was a very big shoulder.
And what I realized when you're looking at this, and it's upper left, it's rotated. It was my back rear tire that it was showing.
It was back right.
That makes no sense. It does not make logical sense. And I'm like, Dawn, why didn't you check all the tires? But you know, you're in a hurry. I was already running back to the airport and everything.
I will defend you 100% because I've been there. Semis are the same way. You think, oh, should have, would have, could have. Honestly, tires are sometimes just those things. They just go. I know because we change a lot of them. But like,
yeah, wow.
The other thing too is like, okay, when you're going to the airport, you were worried about making your flight. Am I going to get through safety or security? You know, a decent time. How am I doing? We kind of take it for granted for how awesome modern vehicles are, because you really don't even question the vehicle that's taking you there.
Exactly.
Am I going to get through safety? You know, security. Yeah.
So luckily Diana came and picked me up, and I left the keys in it, and Eric took it from there. And
the things you do for family, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dad gave me a ride up for it, and
luckily I didn't wreck the rim, so I was glad for that. But the tire was,
things you do for family, right?
Yeah, no, you're awesome. I can always count on Eric.
All right, I think we got Kona trained really.
Yeah, she's laying there now.
Yeah, she's just kind of hanging out. All right, you're getting well behaved, girl.
No, it's true though. I wish everyone had a brother like you, because no matter what, I know if I'm like, I'm on the side of the road or this or that, like, you will always help me, and I can always count on you. So I'm grateful for that.
There's one person's phone number who will get answered all the time if I see it on my phone, and that's Mom's, because I'm scared that it's Mom on the side of the road.
Yeah. Eric's AAA service.
Most of the time, it's something that's, you're just like,
not
okay.
as urgent.
Yeah, all right.
You'll get that.
Yep. Anything you're looking forward to this week?
I don't know. The weather's beautiful. The kids are out of school. I think we just want to live it up and
enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy the nice weather. How about you?
Same. We're going to get a little bit of a transition period as we start, probably end of this upcoming week, we'll start side dressing, which is a good thing. Like, I'm grateful. Other than that, get the planners put away and just kind of roll with it. So,
it's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you again.
Yeah.